Hello one and all, this is Hybridsteel, down here. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. Today we're in the junkyard looking for another restoration project, and now we've shifted over to the PC version of Car Mechanic Simulator. Reason why is just because there's more cars, more everything, and it's all good. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking around for another restoration project. You've clicked on this because you've seen the thumbnail of what I'm restoring. I don't know what I'm doing, it's all good. What I'm also going to be doing is keeping an eye out for certain parts for cars and making a note of them whilst I'm doing it. And the reason why is because I've been challenged to build a car on $3,500, I think it is. So it's going to be a bit tight. Now I don't know if that includes buying the car, but if it means like not buying the car and just having to get it fixed, I could probably do it. I just got to make sure I know how much I'm actually sort of like getting myself into.
Several days later.
I think we could take this happily. Doing it up, it's going to be something different, and yeah, I think we could do it. I think we can do it at justice, you know. So yeah, there we go. We're going to buy this one, I think. Okay, so we are now going to buy a Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR KPG C10 race. So there we go. We're going to go over to the garage now. We're going to put this up on the ramps. We're going to go and get this one fixed. Awesome. Okay, so we've just got back from the scrapyard. We've spent a little bit of money on this one. What we have here is a Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR. Yeah, we're going to basically restore this up and get it all going. So, let's get it up on the lift and let's start this party. Let's get this party started. Let's go. So, I think we'll keep this as original as possible, just so we get like a little bit of a bonus for restoration by it. And, I mean, the wheels look good on it as well. By the looks, I think we're looking at two different sizes of tyres as well. So, yeah. So what we'll do is, within the normal fashion of how I normally take cars apart, we'll take off all the bodywork, make sure that's all straightened out first. We'll get the windows out. We'll get all the accessories out as well. And then what we'll do from there is, oh, hello, look at this big soundbox in the back here. And then what we'll do is we'll get the car painted in this video. So we're trying to limit the amount of time we spend doing certain things. So I think that, oh no, there we go. Right, okay. So with the joys of the powers of the internet, you guys won't have to put up with this. I'm going to go off and buy all the bits for this car, get all the interior. I'm going to buy the interior as well, and then we'll be back here in just a second. Now we're going to restore all the bodywork. Now I've gone and bought a ton of parts. I've got to be honest, if I've missed anything, then I'll go and get them. But I think we should be alright for just a minute. Got all the panels onto the car. We just need to clean the car up, so we're going to get this over to the bay 1 as well, and we get the valeting kit, and then we'll take that over to bay 1 as well, and then we will clean up the interior and exterior of this car, get it into paint, and then we'll be all good, hopefully. But I think we're going to go with a really deep purple on this, just because I'm liking the tinting on the windows. I think that's where we're at for this car. So yeah, that's all done. And with the powers of the edit, we just go click and the car is clean. There we go. So that's not too far off of what I'm going for colour-wise, but I want it a lot more deeper, because it's sort of this mauvey, funny colour. So we'll get this over, go over to the paint booth and like, the PS4 version. is that everything's just different. You get different liveries, you get actually a huge amount of customization. So that should do it for this car. We're going to whack this back into drop zone 1. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to rip through the undercarriage of this car. Basically take off the wheels, and then we're going to get those sorted, and then we're going to get everything else sorted. And then we're going to move on to the engine, basically the main section that's going to cause me most of the headache. The plus side to this car is we've been through this before, because it comes with the leaf springs and not the all the the rubber bushings and all the other stuff. Taking apart the back end is always it's a lot easier, let's put it that way. So what I am noticing is that there's no fuel tank, so I'm not sure where the fuel tank is in this car, which is different. Oh, it's inside the box. Ah, okay. Didn't see that happening, but there we go. So the fuel tank is inside the box. I'm supposing because this is a race car, it has to have like a fireproof section around it. So that makes a lot more sense, to be fair. So it's all right. Oh, we've got to take the other spring off. The Usain Bolt, let's take it out. Okay, next is the plate, and then we'll take off the control arm, and then we're all free to go to take off the rest of the suspension and shocks and all the other stuff that comes with this car. Then we're going to move over to the other tyre, and we're going to get this one off as well. And what I like about with the console version over the PC version, you just hold down the button, they all undo. You don't have to direct the sort of like the mouse tracker around. So the console, you just go and you take it all off. With this, it's a little bit more manual. You have to move the mouse around to take them off. I know all the things you can moan about when you play like different games on different platforms. Ah, it's horrendous. Too much time. Anyways, so we're getting this one off now. So I'm going to be trying to do these as quickly as possible. And what you're probably seeing now, what you're seeing now is the finished and polished, edited version, without all the swearing and effing and blinding and all the stuff that, well, let's put it this way, all the stuff that you don't really need in a video like this. And I'll be taking everything apart as we go. So we'll take the drive shaft off. The worst part is drive shafts when it comes to the PC version is you have to undo all the bolts. When it comes to the console version, you just hold it down, done. So I didn't realise the fuel tank was inside the box. What's in the box? Right, here it is. Okay, so with the powers of editing, you guys won't have to put up with this, but I'm going to basically go off and buy the entire... Okay, so now we're back into putting the suspension back in. I've finished off the outside by putting the license plates on. I've put the fuel tank back in, and we're going for a boosted look. And the reason why is because boosted on this car, I think, would be pretty cool. I've changed up the rim style as well, and we're going to basically get into all of this. Okay, now we're going to be working on the front end. So we get the front done and we'll do the same again. I'll go off and I'll repair all the parts and I'll go off and buy some new stuff. And then we'll just whack it all back together and it will be all good. So obviously we've got to work on to... I know I've got to go into the exhaust at some point, and we'll do that as when we finish doing this. When I'm about to take off the gearbox is when I will do the exhaust. And I'm going to be trying to cut down time on these as well. So all the bits I don't need, they'll be edited out and so on. So I'm hoping to have most of these videos done for about 15 minutes. That's sort of like the hope. If I can do a build in 15 minutes just by cutting out the crud, we're all good. So now we're going to be taking off the outer and the inner tie rods. Going to be taking off as much as we can up here and trying, well, as I said, what we're going to be trying to do is repairing as much as possible. Repairing does cut down the cost on everything you're doing, and at the end of the day, it's just good practice. If you're able to repair it and it goes up to 100%, there's no need to buy those parts. So unless you're buying boosted, always keep things as cheap as humanly possible, just so you can make enough money. You know, so if you come up to a car that you really, really want and you really can't afford it, then you've saved yourself a little bit of money when you're actually doing builds like this, and it's all right. Oh, we've got to take the wheel off first. Let's get the wheel out. And that one. Brake key, and there we go. Right, so that's coming off. This is coming off. So the other thing I've got to say is that most of the time I'm sort of focused on this as my main game. And I have picked up a copy of My Summer Car as well. Purely because I saw the trailer to it and I was like, this actually looks sort of like completely cool at the same time. But I know it's going to be a little bit more of a pain. Now I know the game's been out for a little while, but I just haven't had a PC good enough to use it or play it until now. And that's why I'm sort of late coming onto this game on a PC. And it all just comes down to what I had before. I mean, I'm basically predominantly a PlayStation gamer by heart. But the game that I enjoy playing, which is this one, doesn't have as much content. So I'm on the PC playing it. And the reason why is just because I enjoy playing it. It's just fun. Well, for me it's fun. I don't know if anybody else agrees. Okay, so with the powers of editing and everything else, you guys don't have to put up with all the crud that I'm just about to do, but I'm going to go off and repair all the parts, and well, as much as I can, and then I'm buying new for the rest of it, and then we'll be putting it all back together. So with the powers of editing... Come down now. Okay, let's get into the engine then. Okay, so this is the final stage. We're going to get into the engine build now. So what I'm going to be doing is, first off, I'm going to... I've got to take the gearbox off. Okay. Let's see as well. Now, we'll put all this back in. So what we're doing is, as I said, we've just cleaned up the engine area, where we're just going to put all the stuff that we would have taken out anyway, and it's all right. Now we've got to go and build the engine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to go off and get all the parts for the engine, and then the next thing you see is me putting it all back together. So I think I've got everything. And I say that, and I probably won't have. So the idea is to basically build as much of this as humanly possible before I run out of stuff that I can't add on, because I didn't buy all the stuff at the same time. It's there, which is good. That's a real good thing. Okay, we'll move the equipment back over to where it should be. We'll fill this bad boy up with some oil. Glug 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 glug. Tis all good. And that's all right. So that's the whole engine redone. Okay, so now we need to raise the engine up. We need to raise the whole car up. We need to put the gearbox and everything back on underneath it, and the drive shaft and the exhaust. So, yeah. So what we'll do is we'll go to assemble mode. Oh no, we don't need to go to assemble mode. We'll go to normal mode. And then... Oh, come on. Right. So obviously we can't, we need to put the manifold on from here, because we couldn't put the manifold on before because the gearbox, the exhaust wasn't there. Let me just scratch my nose. There we go, so that's that on there. And then what we need to do is we need to lower the car and then put the manifold on, which means we have to open the bonnet again. Part mount. Oh, we need another exhaust mount for this car. I didn't realise it had two. Yeah, oh my god, okay. Exhaust manifold 16 again. Do 16. There we go. And this should be the last parts going on. Should be, and then we'll be good. Now, normally, I mean, on the console version, I would normally test this vehicle after finishing. So what I'm going to be doing, actually, is I'm going to send it into the dyno, and that's literally all I can do. So the idea is to send it into the dyno, do a test on it, make sure that we've got everything working and it's all good. Couldn't start the engine. That's because there's no starter. Always have this thing that you're always going to forget something. Something. And the starter's on the other side of the engine. Should be about there. And we have to do it from the engine. Yeah, we'll just go. Yeah. Yeah, we have to do it from the engine bay. So I raised the car up for nothing. Joys. Oh, have you seen that? I've actually forgotten to put one of the mounts on. Damn it. This will teach you. Never be overconfident that you've finished your build until you've actually finished your build. Yep, so lower suspension arm. I never thought I would ever forget to do one of those. That's just bad. No, that's hugely bad. I mean, I'm even going to need like rubber bushings for this. I mean, I never thought that I would like just miss that off. So let's scroll through just to make sure we've actually got everything on this car, shall we? Oh, there you go, I'm missing something. I'm missing a fuel filler and an engine cover. Engine cover G. Oh man. I don't think we can get it in here. I think it's a mod. T. Engine cover G. We need an engine cover. I didn't even know there was an engine cover. There you go. I actually had to buy one. So the other thing we were missing, and I think I own it, is the fuel filter. Pretty sure I haven't put that on. There we go. So that should be everything. So the one thing I'm concerned about this, I mean, this is the engine cover. This is something that's supposed to protect the engine, but it actually goes through the headlight. So whoever modded this, I love the mod, but that should not. I don't think it should be clipping there. I think it should be coming through the actual gap in the clamshell. So that's just my take on this one. So what we'll do now is we'll go and we'll put this into the dyno room. We'll see what we're only going to get 150, maybe 160 power out of it, and the reason why is because I put a boosted fuel pump on it. That is, well, yeah, a boosted fuel pump. And here we go. Sounds good. $153. So that 1.4% came from the fuel pump. That's literally all I did. I literally, that is it. So this car is, I'm going to put this up on the up in the display area. So we're going to move it up to garage number 1, and this has been a real pleasure to do. And to be fair, I've actually enjoyed making this one. It's been a nice experience. It's been cool to see as well, and it generally looks nice. It's got a nice stance to it. I mean, if you're going to collect these cars and you're a PC user, definitely put tinted on it. Give it a real dark coat of paint, because I do honestly love that paintwork. Okay, so let's see how much this bad boy's worth. So what we spent, we bought this car for $19,000 when we first bought it. This is a scrapyard car, $143,541. That's not too bad for a day's worth of work. So thank you very much for joining me. This has been Hybridsteel. If you have liked this video, get to hit the like, subscribe and notification button below for all other updates I'll be doing on this channel, and a lot more of these videos to come. So thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you all a bit later. Peace out, have fun and enjoy everything you guys do. Bye bye.